Hi, this is Winnie from Homeschool with Winnie, and I wanted to do a quick curriculum review on our science books. It's Apologia, Exploring Creation with Human Anatomy and Physiology. We are using this science curriculum in correlation with Classical Conversations, Cycle 3, which is studying anatomy. There is a textbook that goes with it, as long as a notebooking journal. There is a Young Explorer edition notebooking journal, but since I have a 4th, 5th, and 7th grader, we just went ahead and used the regular notebooking journal that is great for all of them. Now, the curriculum is actually suggested grades K through 6. However, I do have a 7th grader, and in order to teach them in the classical style, we have gone ahead and used this for all 3 grade levels. He's doing fantastic with it. In fact, I'm really loving and appreciating him being a little bit higher of a grade level and what he's able to pull from it. He's doing great. Opening up the textbook, it is a hardbook cover. And one of the things I wanted to point out that I love in the textbook is all the great little photos that it has. I also really like the reading level that it's written at. It is not too old of a reading level where my 4th and 5th graders cannot understand it. In fact, it's the opposite. They understand what they're reading quite well. But it's also not written too young where my 7th grader is disengaged with it. In fact, he's doing excellent with it as well. It is really a perfect balance of the reading level that it's written in. I also love all the analogies that they use in order to help understanding. For example, the lysosomes in a cell, they compare him to a patrolling police officer and how he protects the cells and it destroys any invaders that enter in the cell. My kids just love those analogies. It really helps sear, the jobs of what they do, and you'll find that all throughout the textbook. Another thing I wanted to point out in the textbook is all the projects. So at the end of each lesson is a big project. For example, this is the edible cell. I did not complete this one this year. However, we made this edible cell, I believe, back in cycle 1 when we were learning about the cells. And it was great. It was a lot of fun. It was not very expensive to do, and the kids really enjoyed it. Another thing I wanted to point out is all the try this in these. These are kind of like mini science experiments within each lesson. I love these because it is always stuff that we have around the house. It's not something I have to do a lot of preparation for. And the kids really, really love all these try-its. They look forward to them. And in fact, if I say, no, guys, we're not going to do that one today, they're like, oh, no, they get really bummed. But anyways, like I said, this try-it, for example, it's talking about the synovial fluid that we have in our joints. So it has you rub your hands together for a minute, and then it has you rub your hands together again with lotion on them. And the lotion simulates what the synovial fluid does in our joints and why that's important. And it kind of also ask a question to promote, discussion and why the kids think that is important for our joints. At the end of the lessons, they also have, it kind of redirects you to the notebooking journal. So this is a person project notebooking activity. And it's also written in a way that if you don't have a notebooking journal, you are able to do some of these just in a regular journal that you can create at home. However, I do love the notebooking journal and how they and everything that they did to create this journal. I'm really, really excited and happy that we went ahead and did this year. Now, opening up into the notebooking journal, it gives a suggested schedule. I absolutely appreciate this suggested schedule. This is the first year that I am homeschooling with an infant. She was born last year and was still real young and was able to sleep through most of our homeschooling lessons. But now that she's a little bit bigger, it's been a different challenge for me, and I have really just learned to appreciate the suggested schedule and go along with it. And it's worked out great for us. As you open into your notebooking journal, one of the first things that you'll see is these pages that are available to kind of write notes. This is a great opportunity to teach your kids how to write notes from what they're learning in the textbook. After we read a section in each lesson, I will have my boys stop, come back to their notebooking journal and write what they believed was the most important facts about what we had just read. Turning the page in the notebooking journal, we'll also come across some vocabulary crosswords. I love this. It's a lot of terminology. It really reinforces, do you know the terminology? Do you not know them? Also kind of forces them to look up the words and helps that reinforcement of knowing those words. So they actually always have a lot of fun when doing these crosswords. Flipping the page again, it also has copywork, which I love. It has a printed side as well as a cursive side. Now my boys are all old enough to be writing cursive, so I just go ahead and have them write in cursive on both sides on different days. This has been a blessing for us. I used to actually purchase separate cursive books for them, and because of the copywork in here, and they also have a copywork in their history curriculum this year, I was able to eliminate that extra book, save the money, which yay, it's always a great thing, and just have them do it in here. Turning the page again, there's a section for each lesson that talks about what projects they did and what they learned from it. My kids really love this one. Another thing I had not marked off, but I wanted to point out is, what do you remember? These are at the end of each lesson. You can use this as a test, or you can just use it as another worksheet. I love the test idea. I love teaching my boys good test habits so that when they are in college or the higher levels, they already have that instilled in them. And it just kind of gives you that reinforcement that, yes, they know what you've have been teaching them and they're ready to move on. In the back of the book is this beautiful section that has lots and lots of colors. These are called the mini books, and what the kids do is they cut out the mini books, and in the section in here, if I can find it, oh, I had it marked off, and I guess I, I did have the mini books marked off, and I lost my page. Here we go. So the mini books get pasted here. The kids will cut, and then they paste them here, and then they write the information that is required for each one. There's also a more to explore section that you can look in a little bit further. It tells you, gives you suggestions on some extra things on what to do. And in the very back here, before all the beautiful color, is the answer guide, which is kind of an honor system with the kids, but it's great for me because sometimes I don't remember all the answers, so it is a huge help to me. So that pretty much completes my curriculum review on the Anatomy Notebooking Journal. I really appreciate and love this curriculum for us this year. It's been a blessing to my family. I love that it's faith-based and that, you know, what they're learning is in line with God's design. So thank you so much for reading and watching my video, and I hope you guys have a blessed day.